Oh, g'day. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to the Windmill. And here at the Windmill, we always have our listening ears on. As you can see, we've been listening and we have responded. You like Pet Site 7 so much that we're doing it to the rest. Synthetic grass. With some great Ballarat contractors and the help of me, we're getting it done. So come with us as we do Site 8 from scratch, and you get to see the process and see I, Sam, and Poppy actually do some work around here. Let's go. Here it is, Site 8 at the start. And here's the man with the plan, the man who's going to do it for us, Bill Noonan from Noonan Contracting. And as all good contractors, he's always on his phone. Now, these sites have been extremely popular for our guests who are travelling with dogs, even the odd kid. Now, what the issue we are having is the grass isn't having an opportunity to grow. So, a good way to get around that is put grass that doesn't need to grow, fake grass. And we have to take out a lot of dirt to create a good base. And thank God for the tipper trailer, because you can see we've got taken out a fair amount of dirt. And here is the foreman, Poppy. You can see her running behind me. But like all good things, you can't make an omelette without smashing a couple of eggs. Crunch? What crunch? Just add another ton to the trailer, Bill.
Nice.
I did say a ton, I didn't say a ton and a half. And here I come over acting like I actually was doing something.
They ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
And then here comes Mark, and he's going to show why he was the dancing champion of Duffton in 1985. All right, Mark, we get it. You've got some fine dance moves, but we need to get back to work because we're almost ready for the base, which is a road base that we're using, and it's actually 25 tons worth. Well, the dirt is out, all by hand, mind you. I was on the shovel all day. Not really. But this is the base. It's crushed concrete. Don't know what it's actually made out of, but it's crushed up concrete, and when you roll it and wet it down, it sets like concrete. So that way, when you're driving your car backwards and forwards, we're not getting those divots. And while Bill and Kobe are actually doing some work and spreading the crushed rock, I'm going to go do what I do best, and that's talk to guests. We've got some lovely guests here. They've been absolutely terrific while we've been doing the fake grass, either side of them. They haven't complained once. We're doing the fake grass. You've seen the process. Who's the hardest worker that you've seen while you've been here?
Oh, is it Kobe?
It is Kobe.
Yeah, young Kobe.
He's
He's
done
amazing.
well. Very good on the machines.
And can I just say another thing also? Your man holding the camera there, he's pretty awesome too.
Jay, no,
Yeah.
There's no one behind the camera. It's on a tripod.
Oh.
Kobe is a good worker.
He's amazing.
But that was the wrong answer. I was looking for either myself.
Oh, you are? Yeah, you are.
I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. But
Everyone is.
Oh, well, that's what we want to hear at the Windmill. Now, how have you enjoyed the synthetic grass?
Oh,
Magnificent.
Yeah.
It's a
Love it.
big tick for caravan parks.
Yep.
Especially with people with dogs. Absolutely big tick. It's magnificent.
And especially being in Ballarat, if it's cold and you get rainy days, you're not walking on slush. So it's nice. It's good for the dogs. It's great for us because we've got him tracing inside, no dirt.
Yep.
It's magnificent.
That's
It looks
great.
brilliant.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for visiting. You have been an absolute pleasure to have within the park.
Thanks for having us.
I better get back to work.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's been a joy.
Thank you.
No worries. Thanks for
and
having
good
us.
luck.
Yes, I'm going to need it.
Yeah.
Now, here with the man himself, Bill. Bill has got a camera. Is it a camera or a laser, Bill?
It's not a camera or a laser, it's a theodolite.
Well, there you go. What are you doing here, Bill?
We're shooting some levels to make sure the water doesn't pool inside the dog runs. Make sure we got full from one corner to the other.
And that's what you get with 60 years experience in the trade. You got 60 years experience, don't you, Bill?
60 years, yeah. Don't make me sound so old.
No, he's not. He's only 48, believe it or not. All right, Bill, what's the distance that you want the line to the ground on, mate? What's the distance?
Well, we're looking for 130 because we've got to put another 50 mil of sand on top of this crushed rock.
I'm the hardest worker here, aren't I, Bill? Bill actually did say I was the hardest worker here, but my camera battery died. Now that the road is all level, all nice, it's time for the roller. Now the roller's going to get it all nice and flat and all nice and compacted. Now this crushed concrete is actually what we use for road base. So that's how much effort we are taking here. We are making sure that it is spot on and absolutely perfect. This is granite sand. It's a type of sand made out of granite, I think. And what this is good for is getting the site nice and level. We just saw Kobe bringing in the Bobcat, getting it roughly in the position, and then the master Bill backblading it with the excavator. But the real master is me, because I'm going to use a screed and do it all by hand, because I like a challenge. And here I am using a screed, a tool that concrete is used to level out the concrete, but I'm using it to level out the granite sand. It's a great way to get rid of any high or low spots so we won't pool with water. But this is as much work as I like to do in one day, so why don't we go talk to a guest who's staying in a pet-friendly cabin. All right, I'm here with another terrific guest, Josh. And what's your name, young fella?
This is Neo.
Neo. Now, you've had front row seats to some bloody hard work that's been going over there. In your honest and upright opinion, who would be the hardest worker that you have seen on this site today?
Wow, I reckon I'd have to be Poppy, the little Jack Russell, I reckon. She's been out there working her butt off. What do you think, mate?
See, he gave the wrong answer. You're supposed to say me,
right.
And that's why he's upset, not the dog.
He's the hardest worker.
Definitely. Finally, someone who has seen all the hard work I have put in. Now, here's the finished product. Nice and flat, compact, plinth is in to wrap the grass around. What are we waiting for? Well, we're waiting for the fake grass. Well, all the hard work's done. The site's nice and level. We're compacted. We're ready to go. Here we are. Carpet, all ready to lie out. Now, what not a lot of people know is I'm very good on my knees. I spent majority of my late teens and early 20s on my knees. You see, I'm a qualified flooring installer, carpet layer to be exact. So I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks so you at home can do it yourself. Here we are in my natural habitat with some carpet. Now here we are folding it out. Now I'd like to thank the guys at Urban Turf Solutions, Australia's leading synthetic turf manufacturer. They have been fantastic, all the advice they have given us, and a great product to boot. While James is cutting the joint, I thought I would explain something else. Carpet and grass has a direction that it is made. If I brush my hands up this way, the fibres stand up. If I brush it this way, the fibres sit down. Now the cars and caravans are reversing this way. So I want the fibres standing up when the cars reverse in. That way it creates that lovely colour and the wear is a lot less. The other thing is, with the two drops, we've got to make sure they're both running the same way. Because when we put a joint in the middle, you don't want one standing up this way and the other roll standing up this way. You've got to make sure they're all the same direction. And another big tip is to always stand your fibres up when you put your sand in, but we'll explain that one a little later. It's just like patting a dog, a very green, weird dog. Good boy. Alright, we're ready to do the joint. Now, James has cut these joints very particularly. When you got your runs, you want to make sure one side you're cutting away from the bumps, leaving a big black gap. And on the other one, you want to make sure that you're cutting close to the bump. So when they marry up, they make a perfect seam. Now, a couple of things, we're using joining tape for this one. Don't know where it's gone. Like all tools, I lose them. And then we're using a special glue to glue it down and push it together. And to help with this, I'm using my trusty knee kicker that I've had for many years. It's seen some wear. Now, when you do join, like I mentioned before, just to give a demonstration, you want to make sure that both runs are running the same way, facing up. Now, when you join, you want to make sure that it's just the backings touching, not the actual grass or piles getting trapped and it marries in like that, and you'll push it into the glue on the tape, because if you run it and you get trapped with the piles, it will fray, and then when you lift it up, it'll have glue all on it. So it's very important that you take your time and do it properly and push it down, and then put a bit of weight on it as you go, like a knee board, as you'll see I'll do, and a bit of a roll as well, which I've got special carpet laying tools for. So we're using a special glue called indoor-outdoor adhesive. It's the same glue we use in doorways for matting and cricket pitches, things like that. And a V2 2mm trowel to glue it down. Now, you can see the roller, that's to push down the joints together, and I'm using the knee kicker to separate and make sure the backing's touching perfectly, and then a knee board, like you saw, to hold it down and push it down and push the backing into the glue. All right, so while those joins, the center one and the fill on the fence, are drying, I'll explain what the 100mm nails are for. Now, they're for around the outside. We put them about 200 to 250mm each way. Now, this isn't what holds down the carpet. It's actually just to secure it into place while we put the sand on. Now, the best way to do it is hit a nail in, and then as you're about to go, straighten it up. But the biggest thing is, make sure your pile isn't going to get trapped by the head of the nail, because it'll create a divot. You can see James and I here throwing in more nails than a coffin. And if you were to tell me as a second-year apprentice, hey Sam, you'll be laying fake grass in the family business around trees and power heads, I would have called you silly. But that's what happens when you get into the family business. You just get down and get it done. With my particular set of skills, it's very easy to. We're using a special blade called a concave, used for commercial vinyl and vinyl planks. Easy to control, very sharp, makes cutting the grass a lot easier. As you can see here, cutting around a tree, the concave just slices straight through the fake grass. Now, my biggest advice for when you're laying fake grass, take your time. The grass isn't going anywhere. It doesn't matter if you take a couple days to do it. The biggest thing is breathe. Remember, it's only grass. And if you take your time, the end result can be absolutely beautiful. This is Tuscan rock. It's a type of rock imported from Tuscany. It separates the front of the site to the fake grass. So when you reverse your car in and you pull your car in as well, you can steer and you're not going to interact with the grass. I think they're arguing. What are you arguing about?
We don't argue.
Bill's working too hard. He needs to get inside the bobcat and let the younger ones do this.
Bill's working too hard. I don't think that's possible. A quick whack to compact, and the Tuscan rock's done. All right, we're up to the final part, putting the sand onto the fake grass. Now, we have some special items here, and I'm gonna walk through them and tell them what they're gonna do. This is a brush that's powered by a motor. And what we'll do, it will brush over the fibres of the grass in the opposite direction and stand those fibres up to put our sand on. Now, this is the type of sand we're using. It's a kiln dried sand that is being dried in a kiln. It's very, very fine product, so it makes it very easy for it to find its way in between the fibres of the grass. One, it stands it up, get that lovely colour, makes it look a lot more realistic, and two, it makes it more solid, so when you reverse your van on, it's not going to create divots and flat spots because the sand is supporting it. The next very, very special item is this stuff. It's a bit more solid, looks a bit more like a rock. It's called zeolite, and what this is made for works in the same way as the sand, goes in between the grass, but it's made to soak up all the nastiness that your dog leaves behind, so we don't get that smell during summer. It's a terrific product, and we'll top up the sites about once a year with this product, but this creates no smell, no mess, because, well, we don't like mess here at the Windmill, and this stuff is amazing. And the most special item of all, the old seed spreader to spread sand, not seed. And here's James using that brush to stand those fibres up. This is very important to make sure the fibres are standing up before we put the sand down, to make sure that it gets deep penetration, goes to the base of the grass. Now here's James. This isn't even sped up. This is just how fast he works. We're using about 500 kilos of sand on these sites. Now my biggest advice is ask the manufacturer how much sand to use, because if you don't use enough, you won't get down to the base like you see here, and the fibres won't stand up and look realistic, and the wear will be a lot less. Russell from Urban Turf was fantastic in telling us how much sand we need per square metre, and it's roughly about 500 to 600 kilos for this type of space. Well, there you go. Finished. All in. Happy days. Thank you for coming along this journey, how we lay our pet-friendly sites here at our family-owned, family-run business, the Big 4 Windmill Ballarat. Thank you to my staff who have helped me and my contractors from Noonan Contracting. Bill, you're not only a terrific operator, you're a good friend. Now, if you like this sort of content, please leave a comment below if you'd like to see anything else around the park. But until next time, I'll see you at the check-in. That check-in?